What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. It is that day that every single commercial has been talking about and telling me I gotta go do something, but I just can't remember what it is. Short-term memory, I guess. But we got that election day. We have election day, so make sure you guys do your thing. Go vote for who you want to. It's all good. And we will talk politics, but we'll talk about how they kind of affect the stock market and moving forward if we are going to talk about it at least for today. Or well, today kind of marks the beginning of the contested election, so we probably got some more time to get into it. Albert says DJ for president, and I don't know about that one. I gotta get a good bumper sticker guy. If I can find a guy that makes good bumper stickers, and maybe I don't know. We'll see what happens. Other than that, Spy kind of just hanging out. We do have a little bit of a gap up today. Nothing too crazy. Here's my question. So obviously, if you're taking day trades, right? We're talking about day trades a lot on the show. That's mainly what we focus on. But what makes a really good day trade? Well, one would be a location, right? So if we have and I'm just drawing random arrows, but let's say we have a really good location, we have good intraday, maybe on a 3 minute time frame, we have a 5 minute time frame, something like that, and we see a good, I don't know, hammer candle, bullish engulfing candle, whatever setup that we're looking for. Maybe it's a 10 EMA type play. What would make it a really good day trade? Typically, it's not so much that 3 minute chart because the time frame is so small. It's not really the five. It's does that location match up with other time frames? So if I was a swing trader and I'm looking at maybe, hey, I want to get into this stock bullish as a swing trade, and then you also have in that area a possible good looking setup for a day trade. All right, now you got person looking in one time frame that likes it. You got a person looking maybe bullish in the second time frame. And then the third one is okay, did this one pull back enough for maybe some long term investors to come in? Are we at any bigger support, bigger resistance to go short? How does this trade work? And now we have three different time frames of traders that are willing to hold it for a different amount of time, but all looking to maybe pop bullish or bearish at that certain location. Today, with election, with uncertainty, I don't know that they're saying depends on which algo you have. It's either really close or really far apart. Who knows what the election's going to bring? But if I was this guy, if I was a long term investor, why get into anything today? And it's the same that goes into, let's say, Jerome Powell speaks on Thursday, and we're not sure if the rates are going to cut or how the market's going to respond. What is the purpose? If you're in this thing for 10 years, what is the purpose of having to get in ahead of some big news, something crazy? So I think we lose these guys today. Swing traders, um, is today a great day to start a swing trade? I think it's a gamble, right? We don't know who the presidency. We don't know how, no matter which person is elected, we don't know if the market's going to take a big gap down, big gap up tomorrow. I think we start losing some of these swing traders. That leaves us the day traders. So I think volatility might be a little bit to the lower side today. I don't think we get I don't think we get too much uh reaction one way or the other. Right now, at least, we're sitting in between, and I think there will be some day trades. But I don't think today might be the day to go too aggressive. I think if you're going for some kind of day trade, just lock in the 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, something like that, 1-to-1 risk to reward, and trying to find a couple really good setups that you like, maybe. But yeah, I don't think with so much uncertainty kind of coming out just in a short time frame that we have everybody on board looking for this certain great entries today. So we'll probably get a little chop. There is some news, there is some earnings. We'll get to those. Maybe those stocks could provide a little bit better setup, and there's just more eyeballs on it. Maybe some traps somewhere that somebody might have to react to. Otherwise, I'm looking at some kind of support, looking at 517.19 to the downside on the SPY. I got my first resistance up at 571.01. If we can break through that one, 572.03 would be the next little target spot or resistance on the SPY. So a little bit of chop. You do have that 50 EMA holding us up. We did break through it. Bulls kind of carried it right back through. And a little bit of I think a tight range. I don't know what the news cycle is today or when they start kind of predicting. I don't think it's really till like 8 p.m. Eastern we start getting some results from states, and those states are usually the ultra leaning one way. So like the Californias probably as soon as the allowable time frame, they probably start calling California, New York, maybe Florida, maybe Texas, those type of states that usually typically lean heavily in one direction or the other. And then that leads us to what happens tomorrow. Well, this is a if the media is correct and it is very, very close, we might not have a president tonight. We might have to push that off for a little bit. And I think that uncertainty actually probably gives us a dip. Um, I think I don't know. Harris, Trump, I think you might get a pop regardless of them, of who it is. I think the contested election, we don't know how long that's going to last, and that's going to cause more uncertainty into Jerome Powell, and that might be a little bit of a pullback. So we'll see. Lucian says, I think we should talk politics and religion so everyone is happy today. Yeah, that's true. That's true. We already talk about money, right? What do they say? Make sure you talk on Thanksgiving about money, politics, and religion. Those are the three topics you have to cover. It's part of the tradition. Part of the tradition. So we'll see. God bless you, though, Lucian. God bless you. But we got I don't know, maybe a little chop, nothing too crazy on the overall market. You got a very tight range within the Qs. Uh, yeah, very tight leverage. we not only we're opening. I mean, again, we have 21 minutes till we open. We're at least above yesterday's VPOC, so look for 486.60 to hold up. To the downside, you got probably about 485.49. To the higher side, you got about 488.20. So probably within that range. If we start going crazy, I don't think we do today. I really don't. But if we start getting above maybe this 488.27 zone, we're probably looking for 491.48. Actually, a tad less than that, 490.92. And then we did bounce again off that 50 EMA, so look for that to hold. If we start breaking down yesterday's VPOC, look for probably about this 485.49 zone to hold. All right, let me know if you guys got tickers you want to take a look at. Palantir, Clarice just says, wow. Just wow. Yep. Wow, indeed. Uh, really strong earnings. They beat earnings per share by essentially a penny, so 10 cents higher than they were expecting. They also had a decently high bar for the revenue to come in. They beat that by 2.89%, so 20 million higher to the revenue side. Valuation, and this has been my issue with Nvidia for a while. And I'll stand corrected on Nvidia. I was looking for lower entries on that one. But Palantir might be in the same boat. It's not Nvidia, so don't tweet me. But um, a company like this, if you are, and this is going to be your bear case, valuation is a little crazy. Based on PE, it's like 245, 260, somewhere in that zone. You have a high valuation on this company. However, it is a growing company. They are beating on all reports so far. They're coming in with exceeding expectations. I have shares. I did have covered calls. I sold yesterday or bought them back yesterday. So those were for $60. Probably could have held them, but today maybe I'm going to look to see if I can get some more covered calls at either higher price strike or because I really just don't want to get called away. But we'll see what happens on this. Otherwise, looking forward to does some of the growth potential start to catch up with that PE? And that's where Nvidia kind of broke out, where the valuation was just nutty, but their earnings kept coming in, beat, monster beats, and then they kept flying higher. And now you have more of a reasonable PE, so the earnings actually kind of caught up to where the market was. We'll see what happens on this one, but I think there was probably some bears in this one. Centil says I have 500 in Palantir. Nice. Yeah, if I think at least recently you had probably some bears coming in. This is a monster move. I was like, man, I don't know. This is a tough one for them to beat. This is a tough one. Even if they beat, do they stay up higher? And so far, the answer to all of that is yes. So zero targets. We're gapping to all-time highs on Palantir. Nothing really to stop this one. The last earnings we also had some kind of a gap up. I think it was it this day? We had a big gap down on this day. Is this the right day though? I believe it is. So we had a gap down on this day, but I think the rest of the market was going with it, something to that extent. And then earnings finally came out. Monster beat. We had some volume come in. And then we just kind of continued higher. So I'm trying to find another. Here's a gap and go from earnings. It's a gap and go, but it's a small move into resistance. We did dip underneath it. There might be a pullback on Palantir. This, I assume, longer term, probably higher from here. I don't think this is the all time highs on Palantir. I think we probably go higher. I don't know if I want to play this one for a day trade. I'm gonna just let it do its thing. Maybe I could sell some calls against it. But other than that, I've got nothing else in terms of targets. And $50 is a huge psychological whole number. Some people might be waiting for. Retailers love the stock. So if you get those diamond hands coming in, things can get a little crazy on this one too in a bullish direction. But yeah, pretty good move. I don't know how many bears were really trapping just really the last couple days of maybe some nervousness heading into earnings. Other than that, those guys are trapped. Everybody else making money on this gap up. So it's gonna be a little wild one. We'll watch it. I think it'll be fun. I'm not selling my position. I'm not doing anything crazy. Again, good earnings. They are growing, and we'll see where when you're average. And this is what when we talk long term. Um, I know everyone's like the stock market is so risky, it's crazy. If you're getting decent pricing, and I think my average pricing is around roughly $10 on this one. But even if you were to buy it today, right, at all-time highs, not a recommendation. Don't I'm not saying do that. But let's say you buy it at $48.47 today. Can you be sitting in this one for a loss for a while? Very potential, absolutely. But when people say the stock market is risky and everyone just loses all their money all the time, one, try to get the better pricing. So on dips, I think this is a company you'd probably look to buy the pullbacks, but realistically, the longer your money is in the stock market, the less risky it becomes. So I think eventually at some point, you probably break this 38 cent mark. I think it probably will go higher at some point, but the longer you're in it, I think the less risky the stock market becomes, but also try to get some. I mean, you would be buying this one at all time highs, so not a recommendation, but um, yeah, we'll see where it wants to go from here. All right, let's see. PayPal. Clarice got PayPal on the list today. What's that one? I didn't check that one today. PayPal, a little bit of a gap down on this one. Again, nothing too crazy. We're still inside day from yesterday. But that is a decent gap down. You are opening below. We'll see where this one opens, but right now it's below the opening price from yesterday. We do still have a little bit of support on this one. That's going to take us to roughly about $76.80. So we'd like to see that one hold for the bullish case. Otherwise, I got one more tiny support, a little lower, 76.68. I think anything past that, we're probably looking for this gap fill around $73. So we'll see what happens. But right now, I think it's just hanging out. I don't perceive this one having a crazy drop today. Again, just with elections and everything else happening, I don't see this one probably hitting that 72.94 today. The market can prove you wrong pretty quickly, but that is a bearish gap and go. I'd be concerned about the targets on that one to the downside for right now. If the market wants to pull back after election, then we probably gap underneath this 76.68, and then I think it's a clear path lower on that one. All right, we got XPEV. Oxy was on the list too, so let's take a look at XPEV first. Um, Good gap up on this one. I don't know. I believe this is a Chinese stock, right? Yep, Chinese stock. For a day trade, maybe. I do think that the Chinese stocks could have a little extra volatility based on who wins the election. And that comes down to the tariff talk. So I know Trump has been pretty heavy on tariffs. You might get a negative reaction if Trump does win on all of these. So I don't think I would swing trade any of these until we find out who the president is. Other than that, this is yesterday was a red candle, so this is technically a gap and go. I think this one probably fades. I think you probably have some profit takers either here at open, or we can make a quick run up if you get close to like 1289. I think that's where this thing kind of tops out for today. Otherwise, even though there's a red candle, this is still kind of a retest that never really closed the gap, and now you have your second kind of almost retest gap up. So I think this one fades. If you're looking to go long, you're probably looking for a pullback of like $12.13. We'll see. Let's see. Scintilla says XPEV earnings is straddle or strangle. Um, I would probably put a this one I'd probably put a strangle on. Yeah, and I would do it today before the election because you could see some move again before earnings even come out. So I would have a little longer term on it. I'd probably go about a month out, give yourself some time. Because we could see a president tonight, we could get to contested elections. And then regardless, you have we have Jerome Powell Thursday plus Tuesday you have the earnings. So I think this one's got some volatility in it prior to their earnings actually even come out. Let's just take a look real quick at BABA. So we do have BABA gapping up. That's actually a decent gap on BABA. Also retest gap, but that one did fully retest. I think I kind of like BABA bullish. I don't know where the target will be. We do have one resistance at $100.67, so maybe we get a small pullback. See if maybe like $100.32 wants to hold. If not, then you're probably looking almost for a bigger retest to like 99.13. Targets on this one will take you up to 102.22. And let's take a look at Baidu real quick too. Baidu on a daily basis has a nice double bottom that came in perfect retest of that VPOC or very close to it. It missed it by a couple pennies. Um, Again, decent gap, but Baidu, Baba, XPEV, probably JD as well. I would expect a decent move based on the U.S. elections. Oxy. Oxy looks decent. Nice gap up. We are clearing some decent, finally clearing some decent chop. This is a retest gap from yesterday. Let's see. Maybe we can get a pullback. I would look for a pullback to like $50.67 if we could get it. It's got a nice range on it up to 51.35. I'm gonna move this one higher. We might be able to do something with this one. Yeah, higher on the list. Higher, higher, higher. Um, and I do think I think looking for this 51.35 zone, somewhere in there would be a good little target if it wants to go extended. You got 51.58 would be a stretch target. I don't know if today's the day to go for stretch targets. I really do. As much as I love to go stretch targets all the time, I don't know. I don't know about today. ALAB is up. ALAB up on earnings. Yep. So I don't know when those lines are from, but I would have skipped over my bullish entry. I don't know what the short float is on this one. Finviz ALAB. Yeah, 9% short float, not bad. Not horrific. I got one little resistance up here that would be $86.82. So maybe let it chop around for the first 3 to 5 minutes. See if you got any decent looking candles. But you could probably squeeze some of those shorts out. Let's add this one to the list and move this one up higher as well. It is a gap and go from yesterday. It's a good looking gap. You just have that one tiny little resistance on it. So high wave candle, 5 minute high wave would be phenomenal. I want to give it probably a little more than the 3 minute usual. DJT. This one will definitely be moving. This one will definitely be moving. Again, it's going to be news heavy. I don't know how to play this one after the election, regardless of if Trump wins or he does not win. If he does not win, I think this one tanks. If he does win, this has got a good possibility of tanking. Um, just because now you're going back to fundamentals and there's not a lot behind this company in terms of actual fundamentals. The expected move on this one is like $18. So somewhere between like a 50 to 60% move. How I see this one playing out is again, contested election, not good for this one. Kamala Harris win, not good for this one. Trump win would be phenomenal. I think you get a good gap up. That could take us $18 from here would be 3, that's 40, so 50, get us into like the $55 range, somewhere around there, 55, maybe $60 move. Um, but I think as soon as that market opens, as soon as we know that the president, so I think your initial move would be a huge pop. I think as the market opens or tomorrow's pre-market, providing that we know that Trump is the president by tomorrow morning, I think there will be some profit taking. I don't know how this one plays out after. So be very careful on it. Is I actually like the risk to reward a lot better than the poly markets. Poly markets, if especially if you are a Trump person and you're trying to bet on Trump, your odds it's like minus 120 or 130 or something crazy for if Trump is elected in the poly markets. So you're paying out more. You have a better shot. I'd rather just gamble on Trump on DJT than the poly markets, to be honest. I think you have better risk reward on it. So put in what you could afford to lose if you're trying, but they should have a big move. They're expecting a big move. And again, contested election, everybody's going to lose, and this thing's going to just die. Harris, same thing. Trump wins. I'd want to take my gains probably pretty quickly. For me, maybe you guys got better diamond hands than I do. I don't know, but they are expecting a big move. I might try to play something. It's not going to be the options. I'm not playing options on DJT. It's going to be shares. Those options are jacked up. If you have shares, it's a good time. It's a good time to probably sell some, but then keep in mind you're kind of stuck on those shares just in case. All right, you got Tesla. Yeah, Tesla's a nice little gap up. I think this one fades. It's still inside day on this one, but I see some kind of resistance right around 248.48. Pull back on this one will take us into 245.09. I think if you're trying to go long, you do have a good high wave indecision candle. Again, the overall move is still bullish. This is a decent looking pullback. Um, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red days in a row. You have a little bit of a bear trap on this one. I would like to lean a little bit more bullish than bearish on it. But that being said, I think a little pullback into this 244.83, if we could get it, would be a phenomenal spot to attempt. This is going to turn into another Trump stock. I think this one probably gets a good jump if Trump gets elected, if Harris gets elected. I think longer term Tesla's fine, but I think you probably get some kind of a deep pullback, maybe a bigger pullback than expected on this one. So this one will be now tied into the elections as well, based on the dark MAGA. We will see. Boeing. Boeing. Yeah, so looking good on our swing trade so far. For a day trade purpose, there could be a decent move on this one as well. You're right into that 50 EMA, so that could hold us down. I think we also get that retest gap. I love the fact that we're clearing this 157.42. So let's see if we can get a small pullback on this one if you're trying to day trade this. Small pullback into this 157.53 zone. I don't know if I want to see a full-on retest. Again, coming into elections, people might just be looking for any any reason to take some gains. So if you get a little further extending selling, but you still want to hop in this thing bullish, 155.76 would be where I'd be looking. But I think I'd like to see this one hold a little bit better with this gap, providing this is where we open. Targets on this one, I have my target at 160.93. I don't know if we hit that today. I think we probably fall a little short of that. But we're looking at like 159.92, somewhere in that range. So you have about $2 to the bullish side on that one. NJ. Baba paying. Yeah, so I see NJ, but I think Clarice is just giving us her address, maybe. But I don't see a ticker for NJ. QNST. Maybe was that an invite to go to Jersey? I think so. All right. QNST commercial services advertising. Oh, nice gap up on it. Nice gap off of earnings. They did beat by earnings per share by 46%. They came in with an extra 56 million on revenue. That I don't know what the volume is going to look like. Maybe because of earnings, it probably picks up volume a little bit. But again, at all-time highs, this is a tricky one. I think this one probably fades. I think it probably pulls back a little bit. Not so much all the way to this 21.55, but I think maybe you could catch 24.77. So I think looking for, again, see if you get an initial pop, get a candle to get a breakdown on, be a little bit better. SoFi. Clarice says no, it was a joke. Don't go to Jersey, is what she's telling me. I don't know. SoFi, we got that one's chilling, yeah. Good high wave candle. We've been kind of battling this 1085 zone for a minute. We got a little lower than it yesterday. Bulls secured it back above this 1090. That's where I'd like to see it stay. Yesterday's VPOC pulls in at $10.94. I think SoFi probably a little choppy for now. Why is the GameStop stuck at $22? I know they have Morgan Kitty come in. All right, that is the morning bell. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Vote if you can, or submit names for people you don't know who they are. Just throw them out there. That's how the elections work. But we'll see. We'll see. Tomorrow should be fun. Lots of news coming out tonight. Be safe today. Try not over trading, even though it's fun to trade. But you guys are awesome. I'll catch you all you guys later. Later, guys.